All right, so I have a piece of birch here, and this is going to be a large cooking spoon. And I'm just going to start by, doing what I normally do, knocking down the sides to these stop cuts here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, okay. And, we'll just kind of see what happens. I have a big knot here, so got to be careful. Try to work around that a little bit. Got to be careful. This is not the best wood as far as for carving, but we will see as usual. That's a little easier there. All right, so I'm going to continue knocking these down, and then I'll come back. Whoops, sorry guys. I'll come back when I have more done. All right, guys, so got the handles down a little bit, and of course I always improvise on the handles a little bit and see what we're going to do. But now I'm going to work on the bottom of the bowl here, this part, and I'll kind of shape under here, remove some of the material, and kind of give it a a little curve, I guess, if you will. So I'll start that now, work on it a little bit, and see what happens. Be really careful here. So I'm just kind of defining that a little bit. Maybe you can't tell. Whoops, sorry, but it's a slight angle going up a little bit, and we'll kind of see what happens with it. Hopefully this wood stays together. Hopefully. So I'm going to work on the bowl and shaping the underside of the spoon, and then when I have some more done, I will come back to this and show you my progress. All right, guys, I'm back. So I did a little bit more on the handle meets the bowl. I'm just going to work on the front side or front part of the bottom of the bowl and just show a little bit of that work there. Hopefully you guys can see. Hopefully my knee's not in the way. And I'm always going to be checking this as I go along. There are some old wormholes in this wood, and which tells me that the wood is a little weaker, and it shouldn't scare anybody as far as using this as a spoon for cooking or stirring. But so I just need to be more mindful that, and some parts are actually pretty good on this. I mean, overall, the spoon's going to be good anyway, but just that when you're putting a lot of force with the hatchet. So I'm getting there. Whoops, let me turn to the side a little bit. You can see the sweep, and I'll just kind of work on that till I feel that's good enough before I transition to using the carving knife. But I'm going to work on this a little bit more, knock these corners off, and then I will be back when I have some more done. Alright, I'm back, and I got a little bit more done to where I feel that I'm comfortable. Can't tell if you guys can see. There we go. So now I'm just going to work on the bowl a little bit, and I'll work on that, and then I'll stop the video, and then I'll come back when I have more done. But I'm going to work on this a little bit. Try to scoot over here. Hopefully adjust this camera, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All right, yeah, so let's see here if I can see my outline. And oh yeah, this is going to be really good to carve here. This will be nice and easy. So I'm just going to work on this for a little bit, and I will come back when I have more done. Alright everybody, I'm back. I've finished for the most part here the bowl. Might be hard to see the depth of it, but this is basically going to be like a serving spoon, or I just call them cooking spoons. You can stir with it, of course, and then use it as a serving spoon. So this is fairly deep, and it should work. I have made a similar spoon for my wife with the same template, and it works really good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to start using the carving knife here and just start to pare down maybe the handles and just kind of transition to the bowl a little bit and just kind of see how the wood is behaving. And I'll do a little bit, and my normal here, come back to it when I'm finished. So this is all really just going by feel. Just kind of seeing how the wood is behaving, and getting a feel for it, knowing when not to put too much pressure and things like that. So it should be a very beautiful spoon when it's all done. Get this a little bit here. I'm not sure how long the handle's going to be. It actually might be about the length of it. It might take a little bit off here, but we will see as usual. So I'm just going to, again, continue knocking handles down a little bit and do a lot more refining on everything, and then I'll come back when I have some more done. All right, thanks. All right, guys, I'm back. So I did a little bit more on the neck and underneath here, and I'll just continue doing what I'm doing, going around. The outline is really faint, and I'm gonna need to really get a lot more. You guys can't really see. Turn this a little bit if I can. corners. Let's turn it this way. It's really hard to see here. Let's see. Still a lot of material that needs to be removed. I typically like to keep these cooking spoon, the bowls, pretty thick compared to maybe like an eating spoon, just because of, you know, for obvious reasons, the cooking spoon is going to take a little bit more abuse. So I typically like to keep it a little thick, but it won't be this thick, just in general. So just going to continue knocking this down, and I'll try to come back, or I will come back when I have some more done. Alright guys, I'm back. I've been working on the spoon for actually about 1 hour and 15 minutes for the whole thing, which is pretty good, and that speaks to the wood I'm using, which I don't think I mentioned, but I will put it in the title of the video. This is actually silver birch, and so I've actually got a lot done. The bowl is pretty good. It's the side. I'm really trying to work on these camera angles here. Sorry. So it's pretty thick. I mean, I may play with it a little bit more. It still has to be sanded when I'm done and everything. So I do want to leave a little bit of material for when I sand. But this is going to be really beautiful. Some spalting in there. So now I'm actually just going to work on the handle. This is obviously way too thick for my needs. I do have pretty big hands, so I always try to hold the spoon and think about, you know, anyone who may handle this, someone who has small hands up to big hands, and you know, I generally like thicker handles anyway, just so you have more purchase on it. So right now I'm going to work on knocking this down with the axe or hatchet, and just to kind of thin it out so I don't use the knife too much. I'm just getting a little tired, so I'm just going to work on this, and hopefully you guys can see. Seems to be the problem here. And I'll work on this and, you know, see how it turns out. Still playing with some knots here, but they're not too bad. So just being a little careful. I don't want to go too crazy on the swings. So it's starting to get a little thinner, as you can see. You know, this is just to excuse me, save time with the knife. But also keeping in mind that you're putting a lot more force with the hatchet, and you could damage the spoon if you're not careful. So just got to keep that in mind. I've done that a bunch of times already, and it is very frustrating. So I'm getting a little down a lot more, so I may just leave that a little, well no, we'll see. And then I may just work the knife a little bit. You can see it's coming along here. This is going to be really nice. That's actually the length I like. I have to just cut a little bit more off here. Oh, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I gotta be really careful. There's a knot here, and trying to get it with the knife is a little too hard and a little dangerous. How many minutes we got on here so far? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit more, and Probably the next scene, what I'll do is when this is actually completely finished, I may show, well, anyway, I'm going to finish it and then I'll sand it and then I'll come back when that's all sanded and done, okay? Thanks. Alright guys, so I just got done sanding and this is the finished product. Try to get some in the light. I don't know if you guys, let me stand up here. And there is the finished product here. It's not oiled yet, so I'm going to cut away and come back when it's all sanded here. Be right back. Alright guys, so here is the finished product. Well, it's still not completely done. I still have to put beeswax on it, which will be done in a few weeks or a month or so. So here it is. It's very beautiful. And I'll put many coats of oil on here. So basically, just so you know, what kind of the oil that I put on here is just a mixture of olive oil and vegetable oil, and I heat it up and put it in. And you can see there's a lot of dry spots. So this wood has to really soak in the oil. I mean, it was actually soaking in the oil. So this will take many coats, so the oil can penetrate into the wood and saturate it, keep it, I guess, if you will, moisturized. It's the best way I can describe it, and it'll protect the wood from, becoming damaged, and then beeswax will further help that along as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you watching the video, and I really do appreciate the support, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.